Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyper Roll with Autarch and maybe soon to be ex-friends, because this is the Everything Wrong with Set 11 Hyper Roll edition. Now, a lot of you know, because I mentioned it in videos and in lives, that I was warned about a month ahead of time that I was not going to like Set 11, and I now fully understand why, having played it for the last few days. Okay, other than the fact that I'm totally sick of portals, in Hyper Roll on the PBE, they left in all the old portals. So things like multi-talented, showtime, and things that will not work at all were present. I am told by people in-game that that was not a problem in any other mode, just in Hyper Roll, so yeah, thanks for disrespecting us just from the start. And I usually don't like to focus too much on bugs, but we're going to at the first part of this video, because Hyper Roll was an absolute mess at the beginning, and I don't know how they didn't understand that some of these were going to be a problem. Let's go into our first fight. What level am I? Oh, I'm 3. What level are they? 8. You know why? Because the XP augments were left in the Hyper Roll augments. And it was so bad for the first couple of days that you got into the if you can't beat them, join them. So when you had the opportunity to pick up an XP augment, you do it, you go to 10, and then you can start building 4 and 5 costs. And this match came down to the 2 cheaters. Well, actually, there were about 4 or 5 cheaters in this match who all used the XP augments. I ended up winning because I got the 3-star Lee Sin, and he was able to beat their team. No one was able to put together the 3-star legendaries, but oh, we'll talk about that in a moment. In this game filled with cheaters, I was able to get 3-star 4 costs. Now, I have Lilia up front, which is not where she could be because she's ranged. We'll get into that in a moment, but this person was able to put together the 3-star Wukong, which is going to do a heck ton of damage. Doesn't matter how many 3-star 4 costs you have. Yeah, you're just gonna get wiped out by the hammer coming down. And we're gonna talk a little bit more in a moment about what is going to be, I think, a 3-star legendary problem that is going to be bigger than last season's. But before we get to that, I just want to show you 2 matches that happened in a row. Pretty much everyone was using exploits whenever they could, just throughout this whole thing, and I was pretty quiet about it when I saw people using it, but not everyone was. See, Sir Farts a lot, the name should give it away, but is complaining that there's somebody's using the exploit to get to 10 and then prismatic ticket, and calling that person a loser for using the exploit. So very next game, my first fight is against somebody named Sir Farts-a-lot. It's a pretty memorable name, and I can't help but notice that they now have 50 health. Why? Because they took Tiny Titans, which gives you plus 30 health, and that is not a Hyper Roll augment. It is an exploit, just like the XP exploit, and I just couldn't believe that the person who was complaining in the last game was now using it. And I normally keep my mouth shut, but I absolutely could not help but say something, and I go on to explain a whole bunch of times that I don't care if they're using exploits on the PBE. It's kind of what it's for. But when they are trying to explain to me how different this is, yeah, I'm not buying that. Okay, Autarch, you're 3 minutes into this video, and all we've heard you whine about is that you don't like portals and exploits. They're going to be fixed, right? Well, what about this? Encounters. And not just encounters, but now we have carousels again in Hyper Roll. I play Hyper Roll to get away from carousels. Why are they here? And let's just talk about encounters in general. I have never seen a more distracting mechanic. As you're trying to focus on your game, you're suddenly sucked out of it in order to meet some champion who's going to do something. And some of these somethings are nothing but time wasters. Welcome to Working Out with Set, where all that happens is your Titan grows in size. If the person who texted me is actually at Riot and watches my channel, they knew as they were creating these encounters that, oh boy, this is gonna piss Autarch off. Because what I want in the middle of the mode that I'm playing, because it's faster, is something that's going to eat up 10 to 15 seconds and accomplishes exactly nothing. And I have yet to find a single encounter that couldn't just be removed. But back to something I said earlier, remember how I talked about that we were gonna see a lot more 3-star legendary champs? See that augment on the end? The one called 2 for 1. Gain a copy of your first champion you buy each round. So you're going to be able to get a lot of additional champs. And between that and Hui, in this particular game, I was able to get the gold 3-star Wukong But let's play the gold 3-star legendary battle, because sitting in their corner is the gold 3-star Irelia. Yes, sitting in the corner, and we will talk about that in a moment. So who's going to win, gold 3-star Wukong or gold 3-star Irelia? Yeah, it's going to be very close, but ultimately Wukong is able to win this one out. But what happens when the gold 3-star Wukong meets a gold 3-star Set? Crunch. And then destruction. But let's move on to my next gripe, and this is one that I've had for many seasons, and it's when TFT started. If you had a basic knowledge of League, you kind of had a basic knowledge of TFT and how the champions interacted. That went away a few seasons ago when they just started turning people into whatever they wanted. They finally turned Lilia back into a range champion. But Nico is still a frontline tank, and it just bothers me because in League, she is a glass cannon, not necessarily meant to get into the thick of fights. But here she is, doing damage from the front line. But there's one that bothers me even more, because when you think of ranged champs, the last one that's probably going to jump to mind is Irelia. And she's not just range, she's like stupid range. Like, look at it, 7 hexes, 7 hex range on Irelia. Please, make it make sense. Make that make sense with anything you know about Irelia in League of Legends. It doesn't. And even Irelia knows it's wrong, as you can see her desperately trying to get out of that corner and into the fight. But the mechanics are saying, no, your range, stay back there, stay back there. She's fighting it. She wants out, but the mechanics will not let her go where she's supposed to go. But wait, there's more, because portals and encounters aren't enough random mechanics in this game. We needed to add more, and that comes in the form of Exalted. It's random champs that can be put together to create an additional trait that will add more power to your board depending on level, champs, etc., etc. And with just the right combination and everything falling into place, you might end up with a pretty strong late game board thanks to Exalted. But it's so RNG oriented and a lot of competition for it at that, I really wouldn't recommend it as a primary strategy, because it often leads to less than top 4 and then not necessarily wins when you do actually hit it. So yeah, once I dug into this set, I understood why somebody warned me I wasn't going to like it. Oh, these encounters are just annoying. You want to give us gold? Give us gold. We don't need a dancing Tristana to do it. So yeah, we still have portals. We now have encounters that are annoying and random. We have Exalted, which are just random. And we have augments that create even more opportunity for gold 3-star legendaries based purely on chance. Yet that's not how I like my TFT. I'll give the set a try. I'll make some videos. I'll try to come up with the builds that will help you climb in Hyper. I'll probably go for Hyper tier. But for me personally, this is a huge step backwards. And well, this has been an Autarch Gets to Gripe session. Hope you have an awesome day.